Pep Guardiola lost it because this early in the season he has lost 4 already. And that's a lot, especially by Pep Guardiola's standard. But most importantly, how the loss happened. I mean, at the same basis park, I usually say something that if they mistakenly score you first, so you come back into the game and then they score you again and they beat you. Not be said they mistakenly beat you. They beat you Gogo, and that's what happened at St. Basis Park. You know, it felt like an early goal for Newcastle, and then Manchester City came back into the game and then they kept the game.
Even though there were so many controversial moments in that game.
Absolutely. But here is the thing. Manchester City, what is going on at that point? What's wrong? I mean, 1 minute, Alan is scoring, Dogu is scoring, and Dogu is scoring, and we are saying, oh, City is back. And the other minute, it feels, you just see, well, where is the consistency? What's going on there?
You see, the lack of consistency is a problem with Manchester City this season. Because I think if any Alan is not scoring, they tend to struggle in the final third. That's why you see them against Newcastle United, and Alan was not on target. Even though, like I said, controversial moments, maybe they would have gotten a point away from that game. But then, put their season into context this season. 4 losses already. That cannot be said about Arsenal.
One or 2 more losses, and we'll talk about them no longer in the title race.
So it is very, very sad. And if you are talking about serious contenders or serious title challengers, Manchester City should be in the mix every season. Even though we know that they had a bad season last season, but then they recruited, they got some players, and it feels like, oh, they are going to get back on track. Pep Guardiola is still Pep Guardiola that we know he can still, challenge for title this season. But with what is happening now, the consistent inconsistency in Manchester City, I think I would not see them as serious contenders this season. Because when you are not consistent in terms of getting results, when you are losing 4 games in 12 games, and then they play draw maybe 2 or 3 times this season. So how many points behind tabletop are now?
And I think they're about 8 points.
8 points. So it's a serious one for Pep Guardiola. I don't want to call them title contenders or title favourites, even though it's still early to say that. But compare their season with the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea now. Arsenal have been very, very consistent. They've only lost 1 game to Liverpool. They played 2 draws, lost 1. They dropped 7 points. They are top of the table with 6 points. They can extend it to 9 points next week if they beat Chelsea. Who is a real win for them? They can't. Don't say they win. They can't.
but before we get there, at some point we had to accept reality concerning Manchester United.
Manchester City.
No, I meant Manchester United.
Okay.
Is this time for us to accept the undeniable fact from Manchester City that the golden era is over? The De Bruyne's, the David Silvers, the Kagondogans. Look, that era is over.
It's far gone.
Man City have become like other teams where everybody's struggling.
Especially when their talisman is not playing well.
Because I look at it, I mean, Manchester City before now, I mean,
so we can even call their win against Liverpool as a fluke because Liverpool is struggling. That 3-0 that they defeated Liverpool before international break. If Liverpool was Liverpool last season, this Manchester City cannot defeat Liverpool. Right away, they even defeated them 1-0 last season.
Yeah. Fahad is the golden, regardless of the fact that their golden head coach Pep is still there, is the golden era behind Manchester City.
Yeah. If you look at it, it's definitely there Manchester City. Now let's go back to when Manchester City actually when Pep Guardiola came to the team and he wanted to reshuffle, he wanted to bring in new players and flush out the old ones. I think they brought in players and they were also inconsistent before they actually brought in more players and then started getting consistent and dominant as well. So I think it's more like the same right now. They are trying to replace the old players in the team. And they brought in players, they brought in Molotov, they brought in Mamouche, they brought in Nico Gonzalez, they brought in Jackie, they brought in Sadio. So if you look at it, all these players, they can't, it's more like they are not gelling quickly enough. These players are individual, they are quality players, but collectively, can they be consistent? So I think that's what they're showing us right now, that collectively they can't be consistent yet. And maybe later on in the season, when probably March, then they start winning games, that's when they start being consistent, but by then the title might have been over at that time. But then, right now, the players, they are finding it difficult to actually play together and be consistent actually as a team. And I think that's what's affecting Pep Guardiola right now, and that's what's affecting his team. If Haaland is not scoring goals, feels like.
And that's why I wanted to come in next. Have this team been found out in the sense that it feels like everybody now knows that if you cut off supply from Haaland, you can get the better of Man City. I felt like that was what that was what Newcastle did. Those three blockers, Joelinton, Haaland looked in a world of his own.
Of course.
And as soon as Haaland could not get service, there was.
You remember what Maresca said over the weekend in his pre-match conference that Cole Palmer is like Erling Haaland in Manchester City and Mo Salah in Liverpool. It's not as if he was directly comparing Cole Palmer.
He was just saying what they
represent in the team. And you can say that Manchester City is looking like a one-man team. Even though we know that they have some quality players. Like he said, they brought in some quality guys. But these are not the players that have been in the league. Ryan Cherki is just coming. Tijani Reina is just coming. Right? Umar Mamunshoki, he came in January transfer last season. But he's still
it's not
yet acclimatized with Premier League. He's still not a regular. So these guys are not regular players.
I even say that Nicolas Gonzalez is still acclimatizing.
Yes.
I feel like if Rodri becomes available tomorrow, Gonzalez goes to the bench.
And the unavailability of Rodri is still affecting them as well, because we know he's an experienced player, former Ballon d'Or holder and all of that. So, but I think
the man that helps them control the
midfield is an anchor in that midfield when they lost. So I just feel that if Erling Haaland is not at his best, Manchester City struggles. So teams are beginning to find them out that you want to play them, make sure that you restrict Erling Haaland, restrict the chances creation from the midfield. Although Foden is also a quality player, but Foden is also inconsistent.
But Foden is
just
I mean, what?
So that is the reality of Manchester City this season. Haaland out, Manchester City will struggle. On and off. And you cannot call them, that's not a sign of a real contender for the league. So maybe they are using this season to actually ensure stability with their new recruitment. Their new players that just got in, like Jack. I believe those guys will still play well for them. But it might not be this season. This season might be too early for them to click. Like he said, they need time maybe to understand the environment in the Premier League. I mean, it's not easy to come from Spanish La Liga to come from German Bundesliga.
And then starts fighting for the league.
It starts beating the ground running. So it is the reality of Manchester City this season. Even if they go to markets in January and they still buy some players, they still need time to gel as a team to understand the philosophy of Pep Guardiola. It's even difficult to play for Pep Guardiola. You understand that
because he wants what he wants.
Exactly.
He wants specific
things. So you must be able to understand.
I remember when he got Mahrez, the first season was on the bench because he was just learning the Guardiola way.
And what happened afterwards?
He became a beast.
Yeah. So let's just maybe she cut them some slack that it's really a team of new players.
In the meantime, while we are cutting them some slack.
Maybe
Don't go.
We know one thing we will win the league this season. And if that team no come win the league now, and then we go enter.
You still get another team.
We know that team we go win the league.
We go on track then.
We go win the league. If that team don't win the league, we will enter the
percentage. Let me put it percentage.
Manchester City.
Man City winning the league right now.
I think Manchester United winning the league is even more visible than Manchester City. Yes. Manchester United is not playing on the continent. What are you saying? Manchester United is not playing on the continent. They are playing once in a week.
I'm on it, man.
5 games unbeaten. Is this a joke?
Losing Mbeumo and Ahmad soon.
They get options now. Che, Mbeumo and Maserati, no be only 1 month. No be 4 games. I just 4 games to be back.
You guys Arsenal will be this.
The only thing wey fit stop Arsenal now, Chelsea is Arsenal.
Exactly, Arsenal. Even Chelsea, I don't see them.
It's Arsenal. Man. Chelsea na just pretenders.
Will Arsenal crash and burn?
But with Manchester United having enough recovery time to prepare for games, they should be in the mix. But we know they are just rebuilding, so it will be too much to ask from Ruben Amorim to deliver a title.